Hello, hello, hello. Today we are revisiting our fast frameworks for phenomenal results. And today is a marriage framework I just invented for a lovely client who was commenting on, she noticed her marriage was a lot of bickering lately over tiny things. She's like, he's late, he's not at the dinner table, we're not eating my favorite foods, we're watching TV I don't love, the in-laws are over. A lot of things. She's like, this ordinarily wouldn't have caused so much friction, but I noticed we're doing a lot of bickering lately. And what can we do? And what we notice is that this kind of bickering tends to spiral on itself unless it's interrupted. So if you're already bickering and then you feel a little worse about the marriage, you'll bicker more. You'll feel worse about the marriage, you'll bicker more. You'll feel worse about the marriage. And none of this is a problem. Marriages, like all relationships, they're going to go through ebbs and flows. It's all part of a cyclical nature, not a problem as long as you can get it back on track. And here's how we helped her get it back on track with a brand new framework that I invented for her. It's called the Bank Account Marriage Framework. And here's how it works. The thing about a bank account is that you put deposits in the bank account and the bank account grows. We can do an analogous process for our marriage. So what we came up with is how could we grow a bank account, our marriage bank account? Like what could we intentionally put in there that's more fun, that's more connection, that's more flirty? How can we on purpose create fun activities to exit this loop of constant bickering? She's like, oh my gosh, that would be perfect. That would get us out of the cycle of bickering. I want more fun. We have really good fun. We've been married a long time. We were best friends before we got married. We know how to fun. We just have gotten out of the habit of it. And I know how you can get in the habit of it real fast. And then we came up with some ideas. How could we get in the habit of it? And she's like, well, I could say good morning in the morning. I could just go out of my way to get him a cup of coffee. I could text him some flirty text to say he looked so cute this morning. I could get home a little early and order in our favorite dinner. I could hold his hand while we watch TV. We came up with like 10 different ways how she could have more fun in her marriage today with the bank account framework. The science, the why this works is we need to do something new if we're stuck in a bickering cycle. Bickering will just create more bickering. And the only thing you need to get out of a habit is you just have to do one thing new. What will work best is if it's fun, because if your brain is having fun, it's going to want to do it. And the thing does not have to take a long time. It will actually save you time. If you can save all the time and energy and sleepless nights and ruin dinners, right, with cutting out all the bickering, by just saying good morning in the morning or just having it pouring an extra cup of coffee saves you so much time. So it does not take more time. It will save you time. Other considerations with a bank account is why it works so well is if you have a bank account, you have a lot of reserves, you have a deep capacity of love, fun, and friendship. When little irritating things happen, like the mother-in-law pops by and you didn't expect her to be there and she's there way later than you wanted her to be, when he gets home late, when he's out in the garden too long, it will affect you so much less if you have this deep wealth accumulated of love, connection, and friendship. So what we're doing with the bank account framework is we're building a deep friendship. We're sparking the romance. We're creating fun and positivity around this relationship. And as that builds up, it's going to be so much fun. That's a cycle too that compounds. The more fun you have, the deeper connected you feel, the more fun you want to have, the more deeper the connection is. That compounds too in a really beautiful way. And when it's built up, it doesn't bother you nearly as much when something goes awry. It's just like our real bank account. If we have saved a lot of money, when we have to, I'll just say it, we had to pay $75,000 to have our roof repaired unexpectedly. Daughter's college is $90,000 cash a year. We don't qualify for financial aid, right? So when we have a huge savings, the expenses are like not that big of a deal. We're like, oh, thank goodness I saved so well that I can pay these expenses and still travel 6 months around the world, right? We can be not devastated or spin out about the news. We'd be like, oh, I'm so well prepared for it. It's the very same thing with our marriages. If we have a deep, connected, fun friendship and romance, and there's a spark of energy, and you're excited when you see him and you look forward to seeing him, the little things are a lot less annoying. So the other thing I taught her is that the annoying is a very good thing because it tells you there needs to be some fun inserted. So we don't have to look at the annoying and be mad at being annoyed and be mad at him being annoyed. We're like, oh, wait, we need to make a deposit. It's just time. You can use that feeling to drive forward your marriage. So the bank account framework is about intentionally adding fun, flirty, and friendship into your relationship. And it can be done in a very small way. It doesn't need to require big fancy trips, although it could. Doesn't have to involve very big fancy purchases, although it could. But I would suggest start small, whatever you can do to put some deposits in today. Couple of nuances with this. You don't even have to tell him you're doing a marriage bank account. If you were like, I just kind of want to do this on my own. I don't want any pressure. I don't want us to be competing against this. I don't want to be adding up what he did versus what I did. You could just do it all on your own and let it be a little secret. And that can be fun and sexy too. So he might not know you're doing it, but he will definitely start feeling like, oh, the vibe of this relationship is so different. I'm so excited to come home. So excited to see her. So you don't even have to tell him. If you'd like to tell him, you for sure can. And the competitiveness can be fun. It could be like, how can we can put in as much as possible together, right? As long as you're not using it against yourself, like he's doing more, I'm doing less, because you really can't quantify it. Right. Sometimes you're going to give more than he does on any given day. Sometimes he'll give less, but it'll be in a more time intensive way. Right. So we just kind of like, we don't even bother accounting for it. We're just like continuously depositing into it. Some other nuances for it is there are no withdrawals or penalties in the way I teach it. We're never going to take money out of that account. We just keep adding to it. So if you have a fight, you have a friction, it's not a financial setback. We don't say, okay, I'm taking all those goodies, I'm taking them back. No, we just keep adding to them. So, and I think when we have a friction point or we have a fight, we don't punish yourself. We don't take the money out of the bank account, the love out of the bank account. We say, okay, now it's time to add 10 times more. We're fighting more. It's because we need to have 10 times more fun, right? Does that sound fun? The intention is to nourish. So it's really interesting. If you think about anything, it needs to be nourished. So plants will die unless you take care of them. Unless you have a plant like mine, which I'm pointing to for those of you on YouTube. It's fake, but it's gorgeous. Right. But even that, if I never took care of it, it would be covered in dust. So everything needs care. That includes our plants, our kids, our pets, our jobs, our relationships. And it's so easy on long-standing, very central relationships to be like, I don't need to do anything. We're married. He knows. He knows I'm here. It's so easy to kind of fall into that trap when really the bickering is just a sign there needs to be more fun, friendship, and connection. Everything decays over time if we don't take care of it. Cars depreciate as soon as you drive it off the lot. Houses depreciate. Everything depreciates unless you upkeep it. And so the marriage bank account can be a wonderful way to do that. And you don't just have to use it for your marriage. You could use it if you're struggling in a relationship with your kids. The teenage years can be tough, right? If you and your kid are just really fighting a lot over chores, do a bank account for your kid, which might look like, okay, we're intentionally going to have some fun outings. We're going to go to the movies. We're going to have a date out to the park. We're going to go for a hike. Like we're going to put together fun. We're going to add deposits to the fun and strengthen the relationship. And when we do, when the kid rolls their eyes and doesn't do the kitchen sink like they promised, right? We have so much resilience and capacity to love them anyway. It doesn't have to be a big fight. So, if there is a friction point with any relationship, whether it's your spouse, your kid, your sister, your boss, consider applying this bank account concept. You don't need the other person to participate, but you can if you want to. And make sure that you're on our email list. If you're on our email list, you're going to hear about all kinds of fun new frameworks that you can apply to your life in real time to make it so much better. In Next Level Freedom, we are not just talking about making marriage jobs better. We talk about marriages, husbands, kids, parenting, all of it. There is nothing that we don't set our intentions to make a whole lot better because you deserve it. So go right now to yourpathandfocus.com/email, join our email list, and I'll see you there. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.